Hello, Twin Flame Collective. My name is Tanya Vargo. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please DM me or email me at tanya@earthangeleverlasting.com. That email is actually in my description on YouTube if you wanted to take a look at that. So I'm gonna do something. Oh, first I want to say thank you to those of you following me. I've noticed a lot of divine feminines following me on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and I just want to say thank you. Like, that is such an honor. That you're following me. So I really appreciate that, and I will be really careful to make sure I'm reading well for those of us on the collective that have a job to do here, helping people. Okay, so I'm just gonna do something a little different. Normally I explain the board first and then I get into it. I'm gonna kind of do an overview of what's happening and then I'll get into it. Because I think it's really necessary this time. So, my advice to y'all for the past 2 or 3 days has been to stay out of the karmic business, like as divine feminines, or stay out of the divine masculine and the karmic's business. Let them work their stuff out, because personally for me, every time, and this is like for anybody, this will happen for anybody, and I'm human and I jack this stuff up every now and then, when I get my ego. It happens. So what will happen is I will check their social media, or really his, and then I'll see like they're playing Happy Family or whatever, and all the while I know like he's DMing me, right? So, and they aren't married, by the way. Let me clear that up. So what'll happen is I'll get frustrated, right? And then I'll post something jacked up, or just my energy will change. And even if my energy changes, it'll trigger him, or my post will trigger him. And then all of a sudden, they're not focusing on their stuff that they should be focusing on. It all becomes about me, right? So stay out of their energy and let them focus on their own stuff, okay? That is my official advice to you, because it's the only thing that is going to work. I can kind of see some of us have not taken that advice. In the end, it's kind of going okay so far, but just, if you are spying, you just got to protect your energy and bring it back up. I personally haven't, and now sometimes these cards come out and now I want to go spy, but it's just, don't do it. It's not going to help anything. And then if you see something that's, if you're dealing with a set of people that only project out the best, or what they want people to think, or whatever, and it's not really anything authentic, and you see that, and then you're living authentically with them behind the scenes, it's gonna tick you off, right? And if you're somebody that's like me, that is triggered by baloney, right? And you almost can't, like, it's irresistible to not right the wrong. You can't look at this stuff because it's almost like a compulsion, right? Like, you can't even, you're like, must fix BS, must fix BS, must fix BS. Okay. So my official advice, is to stay out of their business and let them work on their stuff, because it's crumbling, right? They are, he's finally kind of seeing what's going on here. And for those of us that are divine feminines, I would say your divine masculine probably knows how to watch your readings. So if you're reading for the collective and you're coaching, right, he's probably reading this stuff because I'm seeing, like, I personally haven't spied, right, and this is coming up, right? So so I think it could be our readings, right? Okay, so now let me get into it. We'll start over here. You know what? This is really the best way to go on this. This is gonna be helpful to y'all. Okay, so this is the divine masculine towards the karmic. This is the divine feminine towards the divine masculine. And this is the divine masculine towards the divine feminine, okay? And so over here we have the masculine madness oracle cards. Here we have the ocean of emotion. Here we have the sacred union, okay? For the divine feminine, we have soul whispers and journey of love, okay? And most of my oracle decks are from Bridget Rao. I love her. I love her decks. Like, if I was going to go out and start creating decks, mine would probably look way too much like hers, so I need to not do that yet. It's not time. Because I was so inspired by, like, she's a reader I follow. I follow Queen of Light 1111, and I follow Goddess Energy. And I, often find, I'll do my readings in the morning or whatever and go check theirs when I have time in the afternoon, or I'm bored, or, whatever, whenever I have time. And I find that mine are, coinciding with their coaching right now. And I find that if they go out, if they're not reading, I'm not reading on those exact same days. It's fascinating. Oh, and then Scorpio Moon is another one I read. So just like, if you guys are interested, those are some great readers. Okay, so the divine masculine is coming in, and what he wants is, like, just tradition. He just wants marriage, and a traditional way of life. The karmic is coming in overwhelmed with options. She has options, and she has a lot to think about. And if we remember from yesterday, I think the negative message that came out was because right here was the Five of Wands for them yesterday. And so that meant that they both had their eye on someone else, because this is the divine masculine, this is the karmic, this is their differences, this is their similarities, this is where they are emotionally, this is where they are physically, and this is where they are mentally, okay? So yesterday, right here in this section, we had the Five of Wands, and I feel like for us divine feminines, that maybe yesterday our readings ended up being the piece of information that finally blew this crap up, right? It just finally cleared the decks and rocked the foundation, and just ultimately gave him clarity. Like, just gave him clarity. He's a little bit pissed off at us about it, about us being right. But at the end of the day, they accept who we are, right? So, okay. So, basically, he's wanting something traditional. Whatever happened, to crumble everything, is put her in a space where she has to figure out what she's got to do next. They're both feeling backstabbed, and, like, crap can't get worse right now. They're having difficulties with passion. You know, the Ace of Wands represents the male body part. So this being in their differences can also mean like he just can't get it up for this anymore. Like he's, he just, the erectile dysfunction has kicked in, and he knows that he knows that he knows this isn't the place to be. He wants something traditional. So emotionally, you know, there were these third party situations, and it might not have just been us. Like, I feel like just saying this collective of divine masculines might have had two, and this collection of karmics also might have had two other. So I'm inclined to say that, you know, whether they were involved in, you know, parties like this or agreements or whatever like this, at the end of the day, it led to this, right? Because it's earthly behavior and it's not divine. It's not a judgment. It's just that it ends up doing these kinds of earthly things lets so much karma in your life and so many attachments. And then there's so much to work out because it's low vibration energy, and you can pick up low vibration entities, right? And, you know, not for nothing, good and bad, the other side's conspiring, right? So if you're involved in low vibrational stuff and you're doing, you know, third party stuff that's really low vibrational, you could be out there picking up low vibrational entities and spirits and bringing them home with you. And trust and believe, those kinds of negative energies are looking, they know they're high-fiving each other to get you to do stuff like, you know, this card can represent, you know, having alcohol problems. This card can represent being involved in threesomes and switch 'em up parties and, you know, all those kinds of things. And so, you know, the negative entities are conspiring to get you to do these things so they can drag you off your path. And if you are here to do something to help humanity, right? There are people and you know, there are people here trying to stop you from doing things, and they're here to keep you off your path. Okay? That's what they're here to do. It's like their job. Like, some of us have jobs to, you know, do good here on the earth, right? Some of us don't. Some of us don't. Okay. People are, you know, people are people, entities are entities, and there's good and bad of everything and in between. So I'm thinking that our message yesterday collapsed a lot of things. Divine masculine's probably in his ego, a little angry, we were right. So, you know, stuff has come to an end for them, and they are in a space of where they've got to figure this crap out, right? Okay, so on a not divine plane, he's looking for something traditional, something in the physical crumbled for them, like something was illuminated and it came to light, and, you know, it was about third party situations, and they both feel backstabbed at this time because they're both the kind of people that are just in it for the fun. They're just in it for when it's new and fresh, and when it gets difficult, they can't even deal, right? When something gets there, it just crashes and crumbles because they aren't, they're only pages. They aren't kings, right? They haven't grown up yet. They're kids, honestly. So the divine feminine, you know, she's just tired. Like, she's tired of this is the traditional card of this card, right? So this is the same card. So, you know, she's just kind of over that kind of energy, and she just wants something more for herself. For some of you, it's going to mean that that's just your state of being right now as an overall energy. Like, you, that's just how you feel. That's how your life is, period. Like, my life cannot get worse right now. There's nowhere but up. Poor me, you know? And so she just wants out of that energy completely, because she's probably just completely consumed by it all around her anyway. And she could just feel backstabbed that she hasn't, because this is in their difficulties, 8 of Wands. She could feel backstabbed that she hasn't heard from him, right? There's been no communication, no messages. And, you know, she's like, what? Okay. All right, Mr. Ghosty Ghosterson, you know, like, we talk for like a day and then you go away. You talk, you know, so it is what it is. So he's coming in as, okay, so this can be for some of you the cheater, pumpkin eater card, right? The 7 of Swords. In this instance, okay, I feel like he's trying to fly under the radar, because you were right. And so he's trying not to get confrontational, and he's just kind of like, you know, gonna sneak around, and let's just not talk about the reality of this, and let's not get confrontational, and like address anything for real, right? And I think he's also sneaky, trying to find a way to build with you, okay? And they're both, this is in their similarities. So 3 of Pentacles is about mastery. It's about building. So, you know, definitely he wants, this is a marriage card. It's a spiritual twin flame union card. So he could be looking to build family, business, legacy, all of that, with the divine feminine. So in their emotions, for some of you, it's going to be like there were some negative messages or gossip or spying that has like got you all messed up. For some of you, it's that you're smart and witty and you delivered a message that, you know, blew everything up, you know. So, you know, right here in the physical, we're looking for balance, to balance some energies out. No more, definitely for some of you, you don't want any more of this juggling going on, like cut the crap with that. And then some of you have like a life that is really like, you know, I know for me that's life right now. So, you know, some of us are looking, just need it to stop, you know. And then just balancing out with him, like, come on. And so mentally, you know, some of you are thinking about engaging in third party with this, you know, and then some of you, it's just that your mind is still on it, like, and considering, like, you know, even though this is breaking up, and even though he's ending this, I know what their life was like, right? You know what was allowed and going on in their life, you know, is that how it's going to be with us? Or is it really going to be traditional, right? And so I think some of you guys are wondering, like, you know, was this like just what he was doing for a period of time, you know, or is that really who he is, right? So that's probably on your mind a little bit for some of us. And then some of us are just like, you know, still thinking like you're still heartbroken, like you're still feeling backstabbed, and you're still feeling like, because this is the 3 of Swords, right? So Three of Swords is bad. Third party situations is bad, you know. Deception is bad. It's bad enough. And then somehow 7 more swords got launched in, right? 7 more. We were at 3. We're good and nice and hurt at 3. Our heart was broken at 3, and then you want to go ahead and just like launch 7 more swords to make it 10 and just obliterate the crap, right? So, you know, we're thinking. So we'll go over to divine masculine towards the divine feminine. So, listen, he really wants to be with her. Please understand, you know, he has a lot of passion for her, right? He's got a lot of passion for her. But also I think this is coming in like a little bit angry that she was right, okay? Because we have the 5 of Swords here mentally and how he's thinking. And the 5 of Swords is about defeat and feeling defeated. It's about empty victories. And it could just be like, you know, you got in this fight just for the sake of being right? So he got in that relationship, right? Because she's the divine feminine, she probably told him multiple times, you know, listen, this isn't for you. This isn't for you. It's very earthly. This is where you're supposed to be. And I think he's a little bit angry that she was right. And he continued this and did this to prove a point. But all he got was a bunch of karma, okay? So he's in his ego a bit. And hopefully, you know, that'll subside. So she's coming in as the bearer of bad news, right? So the bearer of bad news, for some of you, it'll be that you spied or you need to go spy. You might really need to go spy and take a look. I'm not going to personally, because I don't like feeling like this. So I'm just going to stay out of their business. But some of you, it might, you know, being quick-witted and smart is going to help you moving forward. And then some of you just need to go take a look. And then some of you just delivered something they didn't want to hear, right? So they, in the difficulties, you know, we're having trouble taking the leap of faith and jumping off the cliff for this new beginning, okay? He's in his ego about this new beginning, for sure. They both they're both psychic, okay? They're both very obviously like divine feminine, divine masculine, and this collective, some of them are just extra, okay? Like some of us have jobs to do and it's to help y'all, right? It's just to help you. And sometimes I feel like it's almost to lead an example, sometimes, but really I feel like I'm just here to help and teach and coach on spiritual things. So, you know, they're both kind of seeing that for some of you. Some of this can be like right now, there's a blockage and it's going to take you using your intuition. You know the answer. You honestly, it's inside of you. You just got to use your intuition to move forward. And then some of you, it's interesting because it's your similarities in this reading is her, and then your differences in this reading is the 8 of Wands. So it could be just like there's a lack of communication right here, because she can show up for that too, like just that there's no communication. So that's what they're having difficulties with here, and then she's showing up as similarities here. So lack of communication. So emotionally he got clear on some stuff, right? So probably a message. He got some clarity, uber clarity, right? In the physical and physically, he wants unconditional love. This is the Queen of Cups. That's what she's all about. Everybody she loves, she pretty much loves with, you know, a set of rose-colored glasses on. You'll see, like, he loves her naivety and sweetness, right? And that's who she is. So, like, if her kid is bad, she'll come home and, like, be like, don't do that again, and then give them a cookie and tell them to go outside, you know? Like, it's just, that's her deal. And she is the queen that is most like this one, right? So, or the divine feminine, the high priestess. So she's the psychic queen as well, and she's always pretty much in her heart space, loving everybody around her. And so, like we said over here, he's just thinking about empty victories and how he might be a little bit angry that she was right. Or he might just be thinking that, you know, okay, I won and I did all this, but it didn't end up being worth it. Like, you know, he's worried he might look like the bad guy to her, right? Okay. So that's the gist of it. So we'll go in the oracle cards to clarify everything. So, you know, you're tempting, right? It's all earthly stuff, very sexual. I'm drowning in despair for you, right? Yeah, he feels bad. You know, that's some of this, and that's some of this. Stripping down feminine beliefs. So, you know, we all have masculine and feminine in us, and, you know, he's probably grappling with, you know, the feminine part of himself and what the masculine part is really supposed to do, and do we really care, and are these rules for real, and how do I blend this? And then, you know, for some of us, it might just mean, like, he's getting rid of the karmic. Like, if your karmic kind of looks like this, his karmic kind of looks like this, you know, maybe he's getting rid of her. I don't know. I felt the need to say that. Okay, under pressure, sinking into the depths of sadness, right? So we have despair and depths of sadness right here that came out beside each other. And that's essentially this card, okay? And a little bit of that probably. So, truth. So obviously some truth came out. We know that. I know you can feel me and you're inside my mind. You know the truth I've been trying to hide, right? So that they've been living this interesting life. So he adores how naive, just your innocence and how sweet you are, okay? And that he wants to give more of himself to you, and he wants more from you, okay? So he wants a relationship with depth now. Like, this is what he wants now. he's pretty done with this. I think often of wanting to see you. I'm seeing through the illusions. I'm trying to get my shit together, right? Am I deserving of your love? So, you know, he just might be in this space right now where he doesn't even feel like he deserves love right now, and definitely the naive and sweet Queen of Cups that unconditionally loves everybody and is the divine feminine, because he feels earthly right now, right? He feels like this right now. So I'm going to skip over here to his work. So these are their hidden truths. I bury myself in work to forget you. I love you unconditionally. I hid who I really am from you. And I want you. So, This is another thing is like, it's interesting that this came out right here. Because this page is just about the fun. It's not, this page is not about going deep at all. If it gets difficult, it's not going to work. They're going to take off. This karmic is very good. This karmic collective is very good at, I think, saying this and doing this, and then it all comes together for her, right? I think normally that's what happens. So we'll see, to be continued, you know. You did not break me. So, you know, all of this, you know, didn't end up, you know, even though he feels like this and this looks pretty broken, he's coming in saying, you didn't break me. I know you're watching me. Yes. I mean, the karmic, this comes out a lot. One way or the other, this kind of message comes out. She just like is a hawk, right? And I personally, on mine, I feel like the hawk has been on me since January. That's what my spidey senses say. So, you know, she watching. Leaving you hurt me too. Yeah, I mean, it hurts. Breakups hurt. This hurts. This is feelings. This is, you know, oh my God. Like, this is the mind blow emoji, right? Like, everything you know or knew to be true, or everything you thought is no longer that, right? It's been crumbled and been kicked down. And so that can make you feel like, here, like, how did this happen? How is this life? How is this my life? How is this my life? You know? We are more alike than I admit. So, you know, over the course of, you know, however, I've been reading for them for a long time, longer than my YouTube channel and longer than my Instagram as well. You know, they have vicious fights. You know, they have lots of vicious fights. So, good and bad, they're probably more alike than they want to admit. Okay, so we'll go down here. Please don't leave me. So we have, you know, I think the divine masculine is just kind of like, oh, I've done all this stuff, don't leave me, you know, just, you know, chill, because he needs some space to work all this out, right? So he's probably not dragging her into everything because he doesn't want to make stuff worse for her. You will be my spouse. I can hear you. So, you know, they're twin flames. We have telepathic communication or 5D communication. I want to make love to you. Aww. And those clicked up to make a rose. So that's kind of an extra confirmation to me. And then there's nothing I want more than you. Okay, so that's kind of that too, you know. Clarity, I finally see, and that's basically this card right here. Okay, that's that card. I want forever with you. So that's just more of him saying, like, I want forever with you. You will be my spouse. I want something traditional. I want the marriage. I want this to go the distance. I want the twin flame union, right? Reminded of you constantly. Synchronicity. So there's a lot of synchronicity in twin flame relationships. You know, people, spirit will work with you by using songs, people with the same names, people from the same places, movies, all that stuff. Someone literally speaking something you need to hear right through another human being. It's amazing, right? I'm lost without you. Emptiness. I just want loyal companionship. So, you know, that's just more of all the confirmations I've given. And then that's also, you know, like we can go all the way all over the board with him wanting to get married, just wants something loyal, traditional, grounded, stable. You're the perfect custom fit. Trust. So he's believing in this, they're believing in this together. And then if you guys have been intimate or have been together, then he thinks you're the perfect fit. Like he did all that, and then, you know, you're the one, right? Or he just thinks that you're the most compatible, right? If you've not been together, you're just very, very, very compatible. So that's what I have for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for all of you that are following me, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.